English Habit. Listening to the podcast. Leo, I watched a TED Talk today that honestly shook my brain a little. It was the one by Reggie Rivers. If you want to achieve your goals, don't focus on them. At first, the title sounded completely backwards to me. I mean, we've always heard that to achieve something, you should focus on the goal, right? But after watching it, I think I finally understand why focusing on the goal might actually stop us from reaching it.
Oh, I know that talk. It's surprisingly good. And yeah, the title is so counterintuitive. When I first saw it, I thought it would be something motivational but vague. But he actually makes a super practical point. So what part hit you the hardest?
Honestly, the story about his sixth grade crush, Lysandra Johnson, it was funny, but also so real. When he focused only on the goal, I want her to be my girlfriend, he couldn't even talk to her. He was scared. He would literally walk the other way when she passed by. That is exactly how goals can paralyze us. The goal becomes so big and emotional that we can't act normally anymore.
Yes. In the moment he thought he got a yes, even though it wasn't actually a yes, he suddenly shifted to focusing on behaviors. He looked up her class schedule, figured out how to switch classes, talked to a principal. Basically, he started doing things he could actually control. That's the first time he truly took action.
Right. That moment changed everything. Even though the girl ended up saying no at first, the important part was that focusing on his actions gave him courage, made him move, and eventually brought results, even if only 2 weeks of middle school love. But the metaphor is perfect.
Exactly. His argument is so simple but so rare. Goals are outside your control. Behaviors are inside your control. It seems obvious, but we almost never think like that in real life.
I started thinking about my own goals, like I want to be fluent in English, or I want to get in shape, or I want to grow my YouTube channel. When I focus only on the big outcome, I feel pressured. I feel behind. I feel like I'm failing. But when I think of small actions, reading 10 minutes, walking 20 minutes, filming one paragraph, I feel more in control.
Exactly. Your YouTube channel is the perfect example. Saying I want 100K subscribers is totally outside your control. You can't control who subscribes, but you can control your upload schedule, your script quality, your editing habits, your consistency. And those behaviors add up.
Yes, and the same with losing weight. If I keep checking the scale, I feel defeated. Reggie's comparison to a scale being like an oracle was hilarious but painfully accurate. Oh, mighty scale, tell me who I am today. That's literally how people treat it.
And the worst part is, you can have a perfect week, eat well, exercise regularly, control your portions, and then suddenly the scale says you gained zero point 0.5 kilograms, and you just want to quit. That's the danger of obsessing over the goal instead of the behavior.
One part that hit me deeply was when he talked about how goals depend on other people, but behaviors depend only on you. If your goal is to get an A in class, you don't get to grade your own paper. Someone else decides. If your goal is to be the top salesperson, you need customers. You can't control their decisions.
Yes, and it's the same with relationships, careers, performance reviews, promotions. You can't control whether someone likes you, hires you, or approves you, but you can control how you show up, being prepared, being consistent, being reliable.
This perspective removes pressure. It makes goals less emotional and more strategic. Before watching the talk, whenever I thought about my goals, I would feel overwhelmed. Like, when will I get there? What if I fail? Why am I so slow? Now I realize the problem wasn't the goal, it was the focus.
Exactly. Focusing on the goal creates anxiety because you're thinking about something that you don't directly control. It's like staring at the finish line when you haven't even started running. Too much mental energy wasted. And not enough actual action.
Speaking of finish lines, this reminds me of my experience with running. A while back, I decided I wanted to run 5K every day. But I immediately failed. Not because I couldn't run, but because I focused on the distance. Before running, I would already feel tired thinking, ugh, I still have 5K left. So I stopped.
Same here. I wanted to write a book. I wrote the goal everywhere, write a 50,000 word novel. But I barely wrote anything for weeks. The number overwhelmed me. Then I changed the strategy. I committed to writing 200 words per day, just 200. And suddenly it became easy. Some days I wrote more, some days just 200. But guess what? After several months, I had a full first draft.
Exactly. Behaviors are small, manageable, and doable when you're tired or stressed. And small daily behaviors eventually lead to big results. Consistency beats intensity.
You know what's interesting? When I think back to the most progress I've ever made in anything, fitness, music, studying, it always happened during periods when I didn't obsess about the end result. I was just doing the work.
Another part that I found powerful was the parenting example. Parents want their kids to be responsible, hardworking, respectful, but they can't force that goal. They can only control their own behaviors, how they discipline, reward, communicate, support.
Yes. And when parents focus only on the goal, they get frustrated. They nag, they shout, they repeat instructions 10 times. They think the kid is not meeting the goal. But if they focus on consistent behaviors, calm tone, clear consequences, positive reinforcement, they actually influence the child more effectively.
Exactly. It's not about controlling the child, it's about controlling yourself. That lesson applies to everything.
One thing I really like from Reggie Rivers is the framework he uses. He only plans behaviors for today, tomorrow, and this week.
Yes, that part was brilliant. Long-term goals feel distant, but what can I do today is direct and doable. For example, if the goal is weight loss, today, drink 2 liters of water, walk 30 minutes. Tomorrow, eat a healthy breakfast, stretch 15 minutes. This week, exercise 3 times, avoid sugary drinks. These behaviors build momentum.
Exactly. And it's the same with learning English. Today, listen to 1 podcast. Tomorrow, shadow 10 sentences. This week, finish 1 YouTube video. And the same with YouTube growth. Today, write 10 lines of script. Tomorrow, record a short clip. This week, upload 1 video. When you break goals down to behaviors, everything becomes easier.
I was thinking about the psychology behind this. It's actually similar to process mindset versus outcome mindset. When you're outcome focused, you experience anxiety because you're constantly calculating how far you are from the result. But when you're process focused, you experience satisfaction because you feel progress every day.
Also, focusing on behaviors gives you a sense of agency. When you focus on goals, you feel powerless because you're waiting for results. When you focus on behaviors, you're in control because you're taking action.
Exactly. It shifts you from helplessness to empowerment.
And Reggie was right. Most people quit because they're tracking the wrong thing. They track the goal instead of the behavior. For example, people diet for 7 days, see no change on a scale, and quit. But if they track behaviors, meals, water intake, steps, they will see progress even when the scale doesn't show it yet.
Same with language learners. People say, I'm not fluent yet after studying for only 3 months. But fluency is the end of a long road. If they tracked behaviors, words learned, hours practiced, they would see real improvement. So I started thinking I should probably change up how I approach next year. Instead of setting huge emotional goals, I want to set behavior lists. Like, record English podcasts twice a week, read a chapter every day, walk outside 15 minutes daily. If I perform those behaviors, the results will naturally come.
That's perfect. And I'll do something similar. I want to write more, but instead of setting a goal like finish 3 books, I'll set write 300 words per day, edit twice a week, read for 20 minutes nightly. We build the habits, and the habits build the results.
So in the end, I think the talk's message is simple, but life-changing. If you want to achieve your goals, stop staring at them. Focus on the behaviors that make them possible.
Exactly. Stop asking the Oracle scale for approval. Stop waiting for signs. Stop worrying about results. Just do the actions. Small, consistent actions. And let the goal take care of itself.
That's the beautiful paradox. The less you focus on your goal, the more likely you are to achieve it. And honestly, I needed to hear that.
Same here. Let's make behavior-based living our new system. Goals guide us, but behaviors transform us.